20 seconds left, Archangel Michael says, as these words touch your eyes, lean in and breathe. This is not noise. This is not drama for drama's sake. This is a hush that parts the sky and brings a single, blazing truth for you. Right now, a gentle thunder rolls across the edge of your life, not to frighten you, but to wake you. Something unexpected is arriving. Something tender, vast, and sacred. Open yourself to it. Receive it. My child, hear me as if I were standing before you with the light of morning cupped in both hands. You have been carried on currents you did not see, held by mercies that whispered while you slept. There are seasons you thought were endings. They were only the hushed rehearsals for your arrival into blessing. What you are about to meet is not an accident. It is a response to the prayers you offered when no one listened, to the small kindnesses you forgot to credit, to the faith that kept breathing even when you could not. Do not mistake the hush for absence. Sometimes the most profound moves of grace happen when the world is quiet. The divine works in silence the way a gardener tends a seed, unseen at first, patient, sure. So when Archangel Michael says, 20 seconds, he is calling your attention to the fierce, loving precision of heaven's timing. He is not warning you to panic. He is asking you to align, to lift your head, let your hands open, and step into the moment with trust. For miracles are not antics designed to startle, they are invitations to remember who you truly are. You have been tested, not to break you but to refine the clarity of your name written in light. Your scars are not evidence of defeat, they are maps to your courage. Each ache has taught you a language of compassion, each disappointment taught you how to steady your heart. Now, the universe is ready to translate those lessons into provision. Expect a surprise that arrives wrapped in ordinary things, a phone call that feels like a turning point, a letter that unties knots you thought permanent, the sudden appearance of a hand when you thought you would have to walk alone. These are the ways grace often comes, humble, clever, and perfectly timed. You may wonder, why me? The answer is simple and luminous, because you learned to hold on. Because you kept a small lamp lit while storms raged around you. Because your yes, even when whispered, echoed into chambers that keep promises. This surprise is not only for your comfort. It is a releasing, an opening that allows blessings to move through you to others. The miracle will not be hoarded in the narrow pocket of self, it will fan out, like light through glass, blessing places you cannot yet imagine. Archangel Michael stands as a sentinel of courage and deliverance. His voice is not thunder alone, it is the steady drumbeat that urges the hesitant forward. When he says open immediately, he is asking you to move through fear to reception. He wants you present, wholly and simply present. So unclench what you hold with anxious hands. Let go of the bargaining. Let go of the rehearsed doubts. There is a presence waiting that will meet you gentler than you have hoped and far greater than you have feared. Remember, faith is not conjecture, it is a posture. It is the choice to plant your foot on the bridge of possibility and walk even when you can't see the other side. Miracles often ask for this posture, the small act of stepping. Maybe the surprise asks you to forgive where you have not forgiven, to answer a call you have been dodging, to send a message you have been holding back. Maybe it asks you to say yes to an opportunity that seems too sudden. Be brave. Courage is the currency miracles honor. I know you have questions that press like winter. Will this change everything? Sometimes it will shift entire landscapes. Sometimes it will start with a single room being warmed. Either way, it is designed to awaken more of your life to life. Will it be easy? Rarely. Gifts that change destiny often come with adjustment. You may need to rearrange habits, rechart relationships, and accept help where pride once stood. But what you receive will always offer more than what it asks. Do not assume the surprise will arrive in the form you have rehearsed. The divine loves surprises because it knows how to craft solutions outside human boxes. Trust the unexpected shape. Sometimes a long-awaited healing is actually delivered through the hands of a stranger who speaks one sentence that unravels years of grief. Sometimes the sudden provision comes as a job that feels small but leads to rooms of influence. Sometimes it is an inner revelation, a memory, a name, a dream, that reorders your steps. Be ready for poetry rather than logic. There is a sacred urgency in the voice that rushes in now. Do not mute this moment with skepticism or with a stubborn clutch on old narratives. If you have been telling yourself a story of limitation, write a new one. Begin simply, I am open. I am ready to receive. I will act in faith. These are small declarations that break strongholds. Archangel Michael will stand by you like a mighty guard as you speak them. Ask for his help. Call his name. He is not distant to the desperate, he is near to the ones who seek courage. You may have been waiting for a sign. Here it is, your willingness. Signs are not always stars in the sky, often they are the subtle shifts in your chest that say yes. When you feel that small movement, respond. Pick up the phone. Take the walk. Write the note. Let the soft yes bloom into action. The miracle will meet you in motion. Heaven celebrates movement. It rewards those who are willing to step into the doorway of what might be. Forgive the ones you have kept ledger against. Forgive especially yourself. Self-condemnation is a rental you are no longer meant to occupy. Forgiveness clears the channels through which blessing flows. It is not a dismissal of the past but a freeing of your future. When you release, you make room. When you make room, gifts enter with grace. This surprise is also a reminder of your belonging. There has been a thread connecting you to goodness, even when you felt separate. That thread is more resilient than any doubt. It pulled you through nights of worry and made room for laughter to come again. Honor that thread. Celebrate the small wins. Gratitude is the doorway that opens wider into abundance. When the surprise arrives, speak thanks first. Gratitude modifies the air around a blessing and multiplies it. Be gentle with fear. Fear will come to examine this possibility. It will whisper everything that might go wrong. Acknowledge those whispers but do not host them. Imagine fear as a visitor who needs to be seen and then escorted out. Replace its voice with one declaration: I will trust what I cannot yet see. Repeat it until your heart learns the cadence. Repeat it when sleep is thin. Repeat it in the mirror. Repeat it out loud in the car. These are small acts that shape destiny. Listen closely for the voice of compassion inside you. When the surprise arrives, it will not only help you, it will invite you to share. Someone in your circle may receive relief through what comes to you. A friend might find courage in your story. A child may be steadied because you answered yes. This ripple is part of the miracle's design. Do not close the blessing around yourself like a fist. Open it like a hand to the world. If you are weary of waiting, this message is for you. Your patience was never wasted. It was preparation. The things you carried, the quiet endurance, the small sacrificial choices, the prayers you muttered in doubt, converged to create a pathway. The timing was never random. Sometimes delay is a kind and wise teacher that stages the miracle so it will last. What arrives now has been fashioned in the exact time necessary to hold and heal more than you can measure. There will be moments of questioning afterward. You may ask, did I deserve this? The truth is, miracles are not wages for perfect behavior. They are unexpected gifts that dance into the life of the willing. They fall like rain on both the righteous and the weary. Receive with humility and gratitude, not with disbelief. Let your response be praise and measured stewardship. Steward this gift well by making choices that honor its source: kindness, integrity, and love. Speak aloud the truth of your name. Reclaim language that tells how brave you have been. Say, I am beloved, I am chosen, I am carried. These are not empty flattery, they are declarations that realign your spirit. This alignment is a magnet for what you have been seeking. Be careful with complaint, for complaint sours the soil where miracles take root. Choose words that feed hope. Name hope with intention. Look for the helpers. Angels often move through human hands. A person who appears at the right time may be an answer in disguise. When a door opens, walk through it with discernment but without paralyzing doubt. Test gently, does this align with the core of who you are? Does it prompt integrity? If so, step. If not, wait with prayer. Discernment is the quiet twin of faith. As the surprise unfurls, guard your heart from excess. Do not build altars to the blessing itself. Rather, build altars to gratitude. Let thanksgiving be the constant. When gifts arrive, anchor them with humility. Remember your origin. Remember those who stood by you. Reach back and pull others forward. Generosity enlarges blessings, turning them into legacies. This is also a season of healing. Wounds will shift. Some relationships will soften. Some doors will close gently so new ones can swing open. Do not fear endings that carry renewal. Sometimes the clearest way into blessing is through the closure of what no longer fits. Honor what has been and release it with thanks. Closure makes room for fresh mercy. If you are worried about setbacks, know this: miracles are not a promise of effortless days. They are a promise of presence. You will be given strength to meet what comes. There will be help for the hard parts and wisdom for the choices. Ask for guidance. Archangel Michael will stand guard as you move. Call him at the start of a decision, and he will stand with you like a shield of courage. When the moment arrives, take a deep breath and receive. Do not ration the joy. Let it roll through you and overflow. Sing if you can. Laugh if it comes. Let gratitude rise like a river. The heart that rejoices is a heart that gives back to the world the healing it received. Remember to keep a record of the ways grace met you, so you can tell the story later and point others to possibility. This secret surprise will touch practical edges of your law that says, I am known. When wonder returns, fear loosens its grip. When wonder blooms, purpose clarifies. You will feel the world tilt slightly toward hope. Do not let skepticism steal your delight. Skepticism has its place as a caution, but it can become a closed lid. Let curiosity be your guide. Curiosity opens the hands of the heart. Ask, what if this is true? What if the universe is conspiring for good? Allow even the smallest, what if, to expand into expectation. There will be a time later when you look back and see the threads. You will trace how moments converged, how prayers whispered in solitude were answered in public ways. You will see the arc of providence bending in your favor. Keep a journal. Write down details. These records are treasures you will return to when doubt creeps back. They become fuel for faith. Friends and family will notice changes in you. Let them. Your testimony will be a beacon to someone else at their own edge. Speak plainly about what happened. Do not embellish, let authenticity be your witness. People trust the unvarnished truth more than the spectacular. Your story, told with humility, will give courage to others who are waiting. Above all, keep your heart tethered to love. Miracles rooted in love last longer and heal deeper. Let your choices reflect love's logic, patient, kind, not envious, not boastful. Let holiness be practical, in how you treat people, how you spend your time, how you use what you receive. This will multiply the blessing far beyond initial expectations. And now, as the clock in this sacred moment counts down, place your hand over your heart. Feel its rhythm. That rhythm is a promise, steady, faithful. Whisper this prayer with me or in your own words: Heaven, meet me here. Make my heart ready. Use me to bless others. Grant me courage to receive, then breathe in hope and breathe out fear. 20 seconds is not a threat, it is a bell for attention. Be alert. Be expectant. Be willing. Miracles adore readiness. The divine loves to enter where a humble yes is waiting. As these words finish, do one simple thing: stand up or lift your face toward the light. Make a small movement to mark your readiness. The smallest gestures often open the largest doors. When the surprise arrives, receive it as a gift and then steward it in love. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Archangel Michael walks with a sword of courage and a cloak of gentle protection. He does not seek to terrify you, he seeks to embolden you. Call him. Ask for his presence to steady your steps. And when the surprise blooms into your life, do not hide it. Bless it. Share it. Let it be a testimony that hope still moves in extraordinary ways. May this moment be the opening you have waited for. May your heart be brave enough to receive and big enough to give. The surprise is near. Step forward. Breathe. Open. Receive. And remember, you are deeply, irrevocably beloved. My beloved, hear me, I, Michael, stand at the threshold of your tomorrow, trumpet poised, light gathered like dawn at my back. For too long you have carried the quiet ache of waiting, the small, heavy doubt that says, not yet, not for me, maybe later. Those whispers belong to yesterday. Today, in the seconds between one breath and the next, heaven leans in and says, the delay has ended. The promise you have kept like a secret in the hollow of your chest is being honored now. Expect an answer that upends expectation, an unexpected surprise so holy, so tender, it will rearrange the furniture of your life. Do not rush to judge the shape of this blessing. Miracles seldom arrive fully wrapped in the ways we imagine. They come as a knock at a forgotten door, as a sudden light in the middle of an ordinary conversation, as a small, impossible favor that solves a puzzle you've been circling for years. Some miracles will be loud, others will be quiet and so precise in timing that you will marvel at how God managed every minute to bring it to you exactly when you were ready to receive. This is one of those moments where timing itself is sacred. Hold still and let it fall into place. Right now, release fear. Fear is a veil that makes miracles look like mere coincidences. It shrinks the horizon and keeps your hands clenched around what you no longer need. Let your fingers unfurl. Let your hands open like the petals of a flower reaching for morning. Open to the possibility that this surprise is not only about what you receive but also about who you are becoming as you receive it. God is not only giving you a gift, God is refining you into someone able to steward that gift, someone gentle, grateful, and brave. Listen, there is a current of joy moving toward you, swift and certain. It is not hollow happiness but a deep, steady joy that sustains through seasons. When it arrives, you will feel your shoulders loosen and your chest expand as if you have been given permission to breathe more freely. This joy will not erase your scars, but it will redeem them, turning each wound into a doorway, each memory of pain into a source of new compassion. You were never meant to carry everything alone. This surprise is proof, a kindness large enough to remind you that you are beloved, that you are seen, and that you are never outside of divine care. Hold to faith, not as a coin to bargain with God, but as an open palm. Faith does not demand proof before it kneels, it leans forward and trusts the movement of love in the unseen. If you have been measuring blessing by how loudly the world announces it, let that measure fall away. God's confirmations are often subtle, an email that arrives at the exact moment you need it, a phone call that opens a door, a person who shows up at just the right hour. Notice the patterns. Recognize the small mercies. They are the signposts paving the way to the larger wonder now approaching you. Do not let pride or disbelief block what is coming. Pride says, "I can handle this on my own." Disbelief says, "This cannot be for me." Both are lies that shrink the soul. Instead, accept with a humble, grateful heart. Gratitude is the key that unlocks abundance. When the surprise enters, speak thank you aloud, even if it feels awkward, even if your voice trembles. Gratitude trains your spirit to see the hand of God in every detail, and that recognition multiplies the blessing, making room for more. You may wonder what shape this miracle will take. I will not rob you of the joy of discovery by spelling every detail now, but I will give you markers so your heart can identify the gift when it appears. It will change what you carry, not by taking away your reality, but by changing your relationship to it. It may come as provision, resources appearing where none were expected. It might come as reconciliation, a bridge built where there was brokenness. It might arrive as clarity, a sudden knowing about a direction you have prayed over for years. It might be a creative spark that meets a prepared hand, turning a hidden talent into a vocation that blesses both you and many others. Whatever form it takes, it will fit your deepest need, not merely your surface desire. Prepare, beloved. Preparation is not panic, it is readiness. Clear a small space inside you for what is coming. Imagine setting a chair at your table and lighting a candle in welcome. Forgive where forgiveness is called for, freely and without theater. Forgiveness clears the way for grace. Attend to small practical things too. Be open to messages, check your mail, answer calls, trust the timing of whispered nudges to reach out. Sometimes the angelic touch comes through another human being, a messenger with plain hands who carries what heaven has ordained for you. When you sense a nudge, act. Heaven partners with your will. Do not mistake delay for denial. Delay often tests the strength of your desire and the depth of your readiness. In the pause, God has been polishing something inside you so that when the miracle arrives you will receive with dignity and wisdom. Sometimes the testing is tender, meant to thicken your soul in compassion. Other times it is purifying, meant to strip away what would have spoiled what was to be entrusted to you. Embrace the refining. Know that waiting has been working for you, not against you. There is an enemy to this miracle, doubt dressed in familiar clothes. Doubt will tell you that this is too late, that you are not worthy, or that this miraculous favor must be a mistake. These are the lies you shall not entertain. In the seconds you have now, speak truth to doubt. Say, I am chosen. I am ready. I will receive with thanksgiving. Declare it not with arrogance but with the quiet force of someone who remembers their origin and destiny. The universe honors that declaration. Expect witnesses. When the surprise lands, you will not be the only one whose life is shifted. Others will be pulled into the orbit of this blessing, people whose hands will be steadied because you received. Do not hoard the gift out of fear. Share what you can share. Listen. This is only for you. Read these words with the quiet in your chest that knows when something holy is near. God says, and Archangel Michael stands beside him with a voice like a trumpet wrapped in sunlight. 20 seconds left. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you breathe, understand this is not a gentle suggestion, it is a direct, sacred alarm placed on your heart. In 20 seconds, something unexpected, something blessed, something impossibly good will move toward you. Do not let fear steal the last 2 breaths of hope you have. Trust. Open. Receive. You are safe. Let those words land like a hand on your shoulder, steady, warm, unshakable. God wants you to know right now, nothing that will come to pass in these moments will harm you. Not your future, not your purpose, not the tender promise stitched into your life before you were even born. When God says you are safe, He is not negotiating. The world may whisper otherwise, voices that measure worth by mistakes, by loss, by the loudness of other people's lives, but God's voice is the one that matters here. He sees the hidden chambers of your heart. He knows how many nights you spent awake, how many small prayers you swallowed with fear. He hears the prayer you might not dare say aloud. He hears it now. Archangel Michael says this is not a rehearsal. Archangel Michael stands ready to open a door you thought was lost. Imagine a great, gentle warrior, no harshness, only purpose, standing with a key of light. That key fits a lock you believed rusted forever. In the last 20 seconds, that key will touch the lock. He urges you, do not ignore this. Do not delay. Open the part of your life that you have been keeping closed out of shame, out of doubt, out of tiredness. Open it like a child opening a present, with the wild expectation that what is inside will lift you. You have been carrying burdens that were never meant to be yours to carry. Maybe you have been living under an obligation to please others, to fix what cannot be fixed, to hide what you think will disqualify you from being loved. God is saying, not today. Today His mercy relieves you. Today His favor unfurls like a banner across the uncertain sky of your life. This miracle is not an abstract idea. It is a realignment of how the Spirit moves in your story. It will show up as a softened conversation, as a cleared path, as money arriving when the cupboards felt empty, as a message, as a meeting, as someone remembering you when you thought you were forgotten. It will be delivered in a way that makes your knees tremble, not from fear, but from awe. You are not alone in this. Feel Michael's presence as a steadying force. He is ordered to protect what God has given you, your calling, your family, your peace. He stands to intercept confusion, to stand between you and the shadows that have troubled your rest. He is not a distant being, He walks with you in the exact room you sit in. He marches with you through the same doorway. Hear His words, you are clothed in courage. You are wrapped in purpose. You will not be moved. Let those words be your armor. Let them settle over your doubt like warm wool. Right now, release anything that steals your attention from this moment. Let go of the to-do lists. Let go of the old scripts that told you you're not enough. If your hands are clenched with worry, open them, literally, so you can accept what is being offered. That small act of opening is a prophetic posture. It says to heaven, I am ready. It says to the angels, come. It says to your future, I will receive you. God is giving you permission to hope again with eyes wide open. You have been trained to settle for crumbs of comfort. God is asking you to look up and expect bread from a new place. The miracle might arrive wrapped in ordinary clothing, a phone call, a name on a form, a small check, a knock at your door. Do not look only for thunder or fireworks. Divine timing often prefers to wear a humble coat. When you see the small thing, recognize the hand of God. When a tiny relief arrives, receive it as the beginning of a greater cascade. There will be skeptics, voices inside and outside, who will tell you miracles do not come this way. Ignore them for now. This message is not for the skeptics. This is for your heart, which has known sorrow and secretly also steady joy. Your faith has been tested, and out of that refining, a certain kind of strength was forged in you. God is not looking for perfect people. He is looking for hearts that will trust even when the path is narrow. He finds your willingness more valuable than your performance. So bring your willingness. Bring your honest, ragged, honest self. If you have been asking, "Why me?" know this, God says, "Because I chose you." That is not vanity, it is grace. You have been chosen to carry this blessing not because you were flawless, but because your life is a vessel ready to pour forth what God intends. This miracle is a forwarding of destiny. It's a correction of a wrong turn, a restoration of something stolen, a gentle rewiring of things that have not been easy. Expect restoration, sometimes soft, sometimes startling, but always kind. Pray now, out loud if you can. Say, "Lord, I receive. I open. I trust you. Archangel Michael, stand with me. I accept your protection and your light." You are not repeating words to sway a distant deity, you are aligning your spirit with heaven's movement. Prayer is the hinge through which miracles swing. When you speak, do not perform. Speak like a child speaking to a parent who always keeps promises. Anchor yourself in simple words and sincere longing. You might wonder whether you deserve this. Let God answer that question. Deserving is not the mechanism of His grace. Grace functions like sunlight, available, generous, and not parceled out according to merit. Do not barter or attempt to earn this. Stand in humility, receive with gratitude. Gratitude opens channels that entitlement closes. When you receive, whisper thanks. When the miracle arrives, even if it's small, say thank you with your whole being. Gratitude magnifies blessing. There may be people in your circle whose hearts need this miracle as much as yours does, friends who have been crying quietly, family members whose hope is thinning. When you sense the miracle touching you, do not hide it selfishly. Share it with those in need. Miracles are threaded into the fabric of community. God delights in multiplication. Think of your blessing as seed, plant it. Let it grow into shelter for others. That is how grace expands. Discernment will be given to you. Not everything that glows is gold. Archangel Michael will help you see what is from God and what is simply tempting. If an offer arrives that seems too clever or asks you to sacrifice your integrity, hold fast and ask again. God's way will never require you to betray who you are at the core. The right thing might ask for bold steps, but it will never ask you to become someone else. If decisions come, pray for clear signs, peace that refuses to be hurried, doors that open widely without forcing, voices that agree. The Holy Spirit's confirming stillness will follow. There are practical things to do as this miracle nears. Clear a little space, physically and mentally, so you can recognize what arrives. If you are waiting for a call, keep your phone near. If you expect a message, check gently but expectantly. Keep your heart uncluttered, forgive a slight that has lodged like a stone, settle a small unresolved conversation, say what needs saying. These acts of inner housekeeping create room for the miraculous to enter without snagging. They are not about earning, they are about receiving. Do not discount the power of rest. Sometimes miracles land when we stop running. Take a few quiet minutes today to be still and to listen. In stillness, heaven's whispers become audible. Resist the urge to fill silence with noise. In the hush, the next step often appears like a light on a horizon, a clarity you missed when you were rushing. Expect joy that is not frivolous but deep and steady. Joy will well inside you like a spring that never runs dry. This joy is not merely the absence of sorrow, it is the presence of the divine in practical, loving ways. Let it swell and let it change the tone of your days. Celebrate modestly and freely. Joy expands the soul's capacity to receive more blessings. If fear surfaces, speak to it firmly. Say, God, I choose to trust you. Fear loves to pretend it is protecting, it is usually trying to keep you small. Counter it with remembrance. Remember all the times you were gently guided before. Remember the small wins, the times a stranger's kindness lined up like a breadcrumb trail out of darkness. Remember that God has never failed you in the totality of your life. He is faithful now. This miracle may also bring clarity to relationships that have felt clouded. Conversations may happen, soft, honest conversations that clear years of misunderstanding. If reconciliation is offered, weigh it gently. If boundaries are required, set them with love. God's interventions tend to refine, not merely fix. Sometimes fixing requires a new shape of relationship. Let God guide you into healthier rhythms. Archangel Michael gives a final charge before this moment passes. Keep your eyes on the horizon of hope and your feet firmly rooted in truth. Do not sprint back into old patterns of fear. The present invitation is to build differently, slowly, with attention, with prayer. Think long-term. Let this miracle be the start of a pattern of divine collaboration rather than a single moment that fades. Use it to build habits of listening and obedience, of rest and renewed courage. You might be wondering how soon you will see the visible sign. Notice this: divine timing is precise but often gentle. It may appear as an immediate shift, or it may be the turning of a key that unlocks a sequence that moves over days. Do not measure God by your stopwatch. Measure by the fruit: peace, clarity, provision, restored relationship, new doors. Those are the fingerprints of heaven. If you are overwhelmed by the idea that God could choose you, let awe be your garment. Let it soften the parts of you hardened by disappointment. There is sanctity in astonishment. It teaches humility and magnifies the glory of what is given. Allow yourself to be astonished without apology. Your life is becoming a living testimony to the kindness of God. Now, in these final words, respond. Speak the prayer in the simplest terms that faith can find: God, I receive. Archangel Michael, I welcome your protection and your key. Open what must be opened. Close what must be closed. Teach me to steward this gift well. Thank you. Say it like you mean it. Stand as if the air itself had shifted. Let your body posture mimic receiving: open hands, relaxed shoulders, lifted face. After you pray, move with expectation, not frantic anxiety. Expectation holds a soft power. It is quiet confidence that God is at work. Continue your day with a watchful heart. Notice small answers as they come. When you see them, thank God immediately. When you are tempted to doubt, recall this moment and the warmth that passed through you when you read these words. Keep that memory as a lamp. God's final whisper for you now is simple and fierce in its tenderness: you are beloved. You are chosen. You are guarded. Let this truth outshine every shame and every question that has kept you up at night. Archangel Michael stands with a trumpet and a key, both instruments of clearing and opening. Your miracle approaches. Do not run from it. Do not argue with it. Receive it like a child receiving a gift handed directly from the hand that made the stars. 20 seconds left. Breathe again. Trust. Open. Receive. God will be with you. Rest in that promise, and walk forward with the newness He brings, slowly, gratefully. My child, listen closely. This message is carved out of a moment that is holy and urgent. Do not skim, do not allow the ordinary noises of life to drown this out. There is a hush in the air around you, like the stillness right before dawn. In that hush, something tender and mighty moves toward you. Imagine a gentle hand resting on your shoulder, steady and warm. Feel the beat of a presence that has watched over your nights and counted every tear. That presence says, I have not forgotten you. I am aligning every hidden piece. Right now, in the space of these few breaths, God is rearranging doors. A pathway you could not see is being lit from within. The radiance is not for show, it is precise, personal, and crafted only for you. Expect not a distant whisper but a palpable shift. There will be an evidence you can touch, a small exactness that changes your next step, a message, a meeting, a moment when someone says your name with new eyes, or a sudden clarity that strips away years of confusion. It will feel like a key turning in a lock you did not know existed. Be ready to open. Do not allow doubt to steal this moment. Doubt will try to tell you you are not worthy or that miracles belong to other people. Those lies are like fog, they obscure but they do not alter the terrain. The truth is, God delights in surprising you with goodness. He delights in the astonishment of your heart when you realize how much you are loved. Release the old stories that say nothing ever changes. They were real once, but they are not the final word for you. Today, the narrative turns. There may be an uneasy whisper inside you, fear that this is too good to be true, fear that hope has deceived you in the past. If those fears rise, name them and hand them over. Speak, Father, I give this fear to you. Breathe out the worry. You do not need to clutch the remnants of disappointment. They will weigh down the very hands meant to carry your blessing. Trust is not blinding, it is choosing to step forward on the ground God makes certain for you. God's timing is precise, and sometimes beautifully inconvenient. It is not hurried by our impatience nor delayed by our doubt. Think of a sunrise that arrives exactly when it must, not earlier, not later, but right on time. That is what is happening now. That precision moves in the quiet places, a conversation you did not plan, a document that arrives at the perfect hour, a person returning who carries a solution. Prepare to recognize the signs. When you feel warmth rise in your chest, when an unexpected phone call stirs hope, when a song or verse drops into your mind with sudden conviction, those are markers. Pay attention. Archangel Michael stands at the forefront of this moment, not to frighten but to guard. He stands with sword sheathed in mercy, with a presence that dispels confusion and strengthens resolve. Michael's voice is not a shout but a clarion call to courage. You will feel courage like a light bursting in your ribs, like a steady drum beneath your breath. When that courage arrives, act. Action is the language of faith. A small movement, an email sent, a door knocked, a question asked, a prayer spoken aloud, can create the space for the miracle to unfold. Forgiveness is part of receiving. If there are people whose shadows have clung to your story, consider releasing them now. Forgiveness is not condoning what was wrong, it is removing the rusty latch that keeps you from opening to what is new. Say to yourself, I choose freedom. You may not know all the reasons yet, you do not need to. Choosing forgiveness clears the channel for blessing. If you find it hard, ask God for help. He is gentle with the parts of you that still ache. He will teach you to let go without losing yourself. Do not bargain with God over this. Bargain